So watch. This follow-up boss piece, I want you guys to grow a business. And if you listen to me now based on OMG, it's technology, I don't want to do it, you're really going to miss out on a lot of the skill that I've learned, okay? So you're talking to a guy, again, I have to restate to you, a guy who was in Time magazine 4 years after he started business because of systems that I built. Fact. A guy who with his wife met over here in 2003, and 2 years later, we were 29th on the planet for Remax. That's a big deal. So now I've thrown all that out. You know, I went to MIT, I studied their generative AI courses, and now everything we're doing, you can see me like a geek on the screen. I spend 12 hours a day looking at screens, trying to work out how to implement everything. As far as tracking the business, if you work with us, you're going to get a ton of business. If you want a ton of business and you want to optimize it, you're going to need, for the first time in your career, to run your business from a dashboard rather than from your emotions. It's no longer going to work writing it on your lipstick box or the back of the menu from Saturday. This drives everything. And I just want to show you again how it works and how you need to use it, that you can go from being not getting enough to getting more than enough. And then what's the next stage after that? To hiring other people to help you so that you're not running a business. We want you, my desire in the closing years of my career is that you learn how to run a business. First of all, I want to get money in your pocket. We get money in your pocket. How do you now run a business? Is everybody in the room on the same page? We all want to run a business. So you have to have systems. Even my dear brother right here. One of the best salesmen I've met in my life is sitting to my left right here. And he has to learn this because this will take him from being one of the area's best salespeople to how do I now actually run a business? Doug has sold construction for I don't know how many years. Judging by the color of his hair, it's more than 10. But Doug, just a premium salesman, same thing, right? And many of you, and I'm going to call you kids because you're kids compared to me, joining with Blake and the team that he's running. Many of you are in your 20s and 30s. Listen to dad, okay? Listen to dad. So many guys my age resist and push this off. And I want you to see that I'm not doing that. I'm stepping out to the very front of everything that's happening. And I want you to come along with me because you'll have great businesses. Y'all with me? Say yes, Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, I don't have to do this right now to make a measly 10% off your commission. I do it because I just love this, and I really believe people can prosper. So on your home screen, can you all see my screen? Am I sharing? Am I sharing? And I'm going to share right now. And Cameron, I want you to hold me at 10 minutes. I'm going to run fast for 10 minutes. So every day, you start your day by going into your home screen and you have follow-up boss on your home screen, right? That's the first thing. So if you're making notes, write down, start my day with follow-up boss. You tap on follow-up boss. When you tap on follow-up boss, your first screen at the top of the screen says new leads, emails, and website. This is where you're going to make sure that you stay current with all of your customers. So any new lead that's come into you, you're going to see them right here. By the way, just to give you an idea, these are new leads that have come into the team in the last 24 hours. Do you see that? Right there. Now you're going to tap on email. You're going to see everybody who's opened email. If somebody's opened email, do you think they should get a phone call from you? Do you think they should get some sort of digital communication from you? Yes. Where are you going to make that communication through? Through your follow-up boss account. Third, you're going to look at website. These are all the people who are assigned to you who are actively engaged in Zillow's website. Do you think if somebody is looking at property regularly at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, or whatever, that it would be smart for you to reach out to them and you've got a possibility of doing business? Yes or no? All right. And I've taught you on my digital footprint classes how to do that. You just simply look at somebody who's looking at property, watch. You scroll down to where the eye is. You tap on the eye. This person's looked at 1,120 properties. You tap on the 1120. You tap on one of the properties. You tap on Zillow. and you can see what that customer has been looking at. Now, in this instance, it's a rental property. No big deal. You just go back out of that. You go back to your dashboard. You go back to your next client. You tap on your, say, second client, Dana. We're going to scroll down to I. You're going to look at the I. You see she's looking in Alameda. When you go to Alameda on Zillow, tap on it, and you see that she's looking at a property that is off market, was assessed for 1.9 million. Is that somebody worth contacting?
Yes.
All right. So this client was in our database looking at property. Let's have a look right here, 2 minutes ago, right? This is with an agent here by the name of Michelle Diaz. Let's have a look. Now you're going to tap on notes, and in notes, you see that this was assigned on 11/12, right? Is that today? So it was assigned today, so it's a brand new lead, right? So you see that it was assigned. You go now to comms, and in comms, you see that we've called Nikki. She's actually revisiting us from September the 7th. This is interesting. Color reached out on November the 4th, and here she is looking at $1.9 million properties. So what happens when somebody looks at a $1.9 million property? This is the skill I want you to learn. So first of all, you start your day, and throughout the day, you go to your home screen, you tap on Follow Up Boss, you go into the first screen, and it shows you where your new leads are, your emails, and people who are engaging with you. When you see they engage with you, you're going to look at a property they're engaged in. Let's take here John Schultz. John Schultz, this is a Trina lead, right? John just looked at property 5 minutes ago. He viewed a property on Zillow for $449,000. You screenshot that. Put the screenshot to one side. You go back to the client right here. Back to the client. You go to the top of the screen. You tap on the blue dot, which is texting. And in the blue dot, you tap on add, go to your photo library, and add that screenshot. Hey, John, this looks like a really cool property. I was just thinking about you. Would you like to see this afternoon? Now, if you do that, your lead will not get spearheaded. If you don't, your lead will get spearheaded. But spearhead is this. We believe that every customer deserves the right to have customer service. So when a lead is placed in your care, it's like a patient being placed in your care. If you were a nurse in hospital, a patient was placed in your care and you did not take their vitals for 7 days, would you expect the doctor to assign another nurse? Yes, you would. If the doctor comes in, looks at the chart, sees that everything that's been assigned to you, you've done, would you expect to keep that patient? Yes. These are patients we're assigning to you. So the way that you make money is that you capture these clients while they're looking. You capture these clients while they're interacting with you, and you converse back with them, all right? So I'm going to run back one more time. You will see in your inbox under website all the people who are interacting with you. By the way, do you see these push notifications at the top? You want to run your business based on push notifications. You're going to see, settle in with me, guys, because this is difficult to teach. This is hard when people are walking around. So please focus. There's 70 families who want to make money right now, so watch me. Point number one is this. Run your business from your home screen. On your home screen, have Follow Up Boss. In Follow Up Boss, periodically throughout the day, tap on Follow Up Boss, tap on website, look at the people who are looking at property. When they're looking at property, tap on the property they're looking at by going down to the I. Tap on the I, look at what they viewed, and when you see what they viewed, screen capture it. This one is looking in Texas, but it's not the point, right? Screen capture it, save that screen capture. You're now going to go back out of that screen. You're going to go back to the client right here. Watch. Back to the client. There they are. Oops, I lost them for a second. Back to the client and tap on the blue, and in the blue, you tap on plus and you send them a photograph of what they're looking at. Similarly, in this plus, you can add on information. So if you have a client that has been assigned to you and they haven't talked to you for a week or so. Hold on, guys, stop talking, please. Very hard for me. I love you, but I can't concentrate. Watch. If a client is not interacted with you for 7 days or 14 days, had an agent call me yesterday and say, why was the lead spearheaded? I was working with the client. Well, the last direct client contact with that client was 27 days ago. They had sent texts, they had sent emails, but the client had never engaged with them. So we're looking for you to engage. It's like the nurse saying, yeah, I went into the hospital room, but the patient wouldn't talk to me. And the doctor says, wait a minute, if the patient won't talk to you for 14 days, the patient doesn't trust you. Therefore, I need to put another nurse in place. So we'll then reassign it. Sometimes I'll reassign something that's in Angelica's name. She doesn't get mad at me because she knows the next day I assigned something into her name that somebody else had. It's all about making the contact. Are you nursing your patient? When you see these people as patients, you see yourself offering a service for their financial health, it changes the way you use technology. Does anybody have any questions on this brief presentation? Did it help you?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for holding this.
Yeah.
All right. Quick round of applause for the. So I love it. All right. Does anybody have any questions on how Spearhead works and how to do this? Anybody have any questions? Now, I want to make it really clear. This applies to Blake. It applies to Kathy. It applies to me. We are watching this flow of leads because Zillow is saying, and now a new contract we just signed is saying, we want to send you thousands of buyers and sellers in Southern California and now across America. We want to send these people to you. So when they send these people to us, they're trusting us that we have business people on our team rather than just realtors. Because we all know that realtors do what they want when they want. We're specifically looking to recruit business people who understand state-of-the-art technology, understand how AI operates, and understand how to maintain a client. Are we all on the same page? All right, super. So the next thing we need to go on to, and I'm going to just bring up Kathy for a second, please. We're going to talk a little for a minute about Zillow Home Loans. Let me unshare my screen. Give me a second, please. Could you set up the presentation for ZHL? Okay. So, transfer, showcase, transfers. I lost the piece on here for Zillow Home Loans. Don't see it, but you've got it, right? Okay, so let's talk about Zillow Home Loans. Does everybody understand that for a real estate business to succeed, that it's important there are multiple flows of income, right? How many of you on this call or in this room have got a flow of income other than your real estate commissions? Can I see a show of hands? Come on, come on. How many of you have us? Exactly. It's most people, right? So it's the same with the real estate business. How does a real estate business sustain infrastructure that you can be trained and sit in designer chairs with designer tables and 4 giant screens with 5 staff and learn? Because they have to make money. So part of the way a business like this makes money is through loans. Part of it is through home sales, right? Those are the 2 primary ways a business like this will make money. Exactly the same thing applies to Zillow. This is why Zillow promotes Zillow Home Loans. It's a way that they make money is through Zillow Home Loans. Now, there's plenty of haters out there. There's people who hate. In America, it's so funny. You got 2 types of people. People who love success and people who hate people who are successful. That's America. That's America right there, right? So you got haters out there right now. There's a new class action lawsuit against Zillow because they say that they're pushing too many people to use Zillow Home Loans. And you'll have a bunch of people throughout the real estate community who haven't sold anything in months sitting around and complaining about Zillow. There's always going to be haters. There's always going to be negative people, right? People complain all the time. Let's look at the positive side of the equation. The positive side of the equation is you got a company that's building 250 million visitors a month that now NAR and CAR can no longer capture all the information, but it has to be shared with the general public. To me, that sounds like independence. To me, that sounds like freedom. To me, when you say, no, I want so I won't say any more about that. My point is this. Operating a loan business is a part of the profitability of a business. So whether we like it or not, whether Zillow wins their lawsuit or not, this is not going to change. The fact of the matter is, if You have a partner, you expect that partner to do stuff with you. It's called marriage. Anybody have a problem with that analogy? How many of you girls are happy to marry a guy who says, hey, I'm going to play around quite a bit? Are you cool with that? How many girls are happy with that? Don't you expect some sort of exclusivity?
You'd be
right?
dead.
Well, we should probably sue you because you're taking my civil liberty and my civil rights. Right? That's then called divorce. So that's exactly what happens in business. If Doug promotes a type of, I forget, it was Windows, right? If Doug promotes Windows, but his company also promotes doors, and he has a relationship with 100 distributors, and all 100 distributors send their door business to somebody else, but they do 70% of their business with his Windows, is that a partnership that's going to last? It's not. This is just business. So we can all be children and run around and look at Inman News and gossip and be childlike, or we can understand what's really happening in the world is that profits are slim. Companies have to be profitable to sustain. That's it, right? So part of our process with Zillow is that there's a requirement of how many of the buyers that they send to us do we send back to them? Now, there is a process for this that is a part of our business function. And we're now going to share it with you again. This applies, by the way, to Zillow Home Loans. It also applies to ICOR and Patriot Pacific. These are three companies that we have relationship with, right? ICOR is making thousands of calls a week. Dominic, right over here on the right, he's down from Seattle, works with ICOR. You should meet him before he goes. Literally makes 500 to 1,000 calls outbound a week for agents on this team. Round of applause for Dominic.
Woohoo! Fabulous.
Oscar Guerra just put a huge deal into escrow. The client, listen to this. I want you to hear this. The client said to him, we did not get along well with our agent. We would like you to do the loan, but we need another agent. Fact. He turned around and talked that customer into going back to the agent who just put that property in escrow. That's called relationship, right? So I want everybody to understand we're building a business. We are business people. Part of it is Zillow Home Loans. We're going to share with you now the process, how it works. Did you want to share anything, Kathy, or just want to go to the video?
Just go. So this is what I look at every single morning. Now, what this is right now this is the month that we're in. So our target right now is 5. We only have 1.
5 pre-approvals.
Pre-approval. So we are 4 behind already. That's not good because today is the 12th. So we've got a lot of catching up to do. We figure we're going to need at least 15, 16, maybe more for this month. Now, last month, you guys sucked. Let's just say what it is. We were short 8. Every other month, we've been right there since they've started, telling us this is what's going to cause you for them to take back some of the leads. They will reduce our lead flow every month as we are not getting these pre-approvals. So as we were going, only 2, and then we were right on target, they increased ours month to month to month. So it's so important. I'm not yelling at you guys just because I want to. It's because we need to achieve this goal.
So let's look at what happened in September and August. Because we went above on adoption, our lead flow went up. By 170 leads in 2 months. Yeah. Palm Springs started coming back. San Diego started coming back. And it's directly related to this statistic. So we're going to share with you now how to make this transfer. Let's get over childishness. Let's get over personal objections. It really is not a choice. If you want to join the class action lawsuit, do it. If you want 600 leads a month from Zillow, please follow what we're saying. And Blake is jumping into the fray to help. Share for a minute with how you addressed yesterday, how you're going to help with this.
Yeah, guys. So to help increase lead flow and help increase conversions and just make it easier for you guys, there's 2 different methods that we can do to help increase this, right? I don't believe in problems. I feel like there's only solutions, right? So if there's an issue or something's happening, it's not a problem, right? It's just an issue we need to address, and there's a solution that we need to put in place. right? If it's a repeat thing, then we need to figure something out. So 2 different things that we can do. One is you can take control of the business on your own, right? And that's what we've been wanting you guys to do is you guys loop in the Zillow home loan lenders. You guys put them in a group chat. You guys connect them. Kathy makes it easy by sending you who's working over the weekend. So it's very simple to do. So first one is you guys, when you're having a conversation, when you're doing the showings, whatever the case may be, right? You let them know, hey, I'm not biased towards any one lender. The only thing I'm biased towards is getting you the best deal possible, right? And that's fair. Can we all agree that that's fair, that we're just trying to get them the best deal
100%
possible?
fair.
Okay.
Of course it is, yes.
So the way I'm going to help you do that, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, is I'm going to loop you in with my 3 preferred lenders. One's with Zillow Home Loans, who has a great program. One's with iCore, and one's with Patriot, or whoever else you're going to put in there. But Zillow Home Loans and iCore should be definite top 2, right? Especially if it's a Zillow Flex one. The Zillow Flex has to be like that #1 priority right now, right? That's one option. You guys loop them in with those 3 group chats. I'll send you guys a template. If you guys want the template of how I'm looping them in, let me know, and I'll send you the text message, and you just copy and paste. That's it. Super simple. The other option is if you're not comfortable, or maybe you guys got into a really good rapport, the conversations are flowing, you're talking about the dogs, the family, the travels, and you just didn't get to it, that's totally fine. You do it over the weekend. You put a note on Follow Up Boss after the showing and put Blake, ZHL. On Monday when I plug in, my job now is to contact on your behalf. Hey, I'm Bobby's assistant. Hey, I'm Steven's assistant. Hey, I'm Doug's assistant with Zillow. I'm just giving you a call. I saw you saw property at 123 Main Street over the weekend. How did that go? Everything great? Okay, amazing. You love it. You're submitting an offer? Great. Have you heard about the incentives that we have with Zillow Home Loans? Oh, you don't? You're going to keep looking for property? No worries. I know Doug is amazing at sending property. He's going to find you one. Just curious, did you guys go over the Zillow Home Loan programs that we have? And I'll help you guys get them into Zillow Home Loans if you guys couldn't make that conversation happen. And I'm your assistant. I'm not calling as, hey, I'm Blake. I'm managing over. No. I'm Doug's assistant with Zillow Home Loans.
So how many of you think that's beneficial, that you have somebody else backing you up after the weekend? Can I hear a round of applause for that? That's a big deal. How many teams do that? Very, very few. So all you have to do again is you go back into Follow Up Boss and you go at Blake in the notes and the technology within Follow Up Boss. He will immediately get a push notification, an email, and he'll read what you wrote. So it's at
Blake ZHL. That way I'll get notified. I'll know, hey, this person needs me to call this client and pitch ZHL.
So we're going to show you a video now of how you make this transfer. And I want you all to watch again. You go, Andrew, you've shown this before. I understand. But if we get one Zillow transfer out of 600 leads, then clearly we've got a comprehension gap somewhere. So let's help each other. So we're going to go into how this transfer is broken into different sections. The first section is, how do you initially make that transfer using Follow Up Boss? So again, make sure you have Follow Up Boss on your cell phone device, on your home screen when you're with the client, right? That's #1. So #1, how do you make the transfer? From there, it's going to go to how do you make the introduction? And from there, it's going to go to how do you give yourself a reminder so that when you tap on Follow Up Boss, you remember that client and you remember that referral. Because what's happening is agents are saying, hey, call Martin at Zillow Home Loans. You're then forgetting that you did that. A week later, Zillow Home Loans hasn't reached them. You haven't called them either. You didn't do the backup where you sent them to iCore and they're now working with somebody from Century 21. How many of you think that's acceptable? Yes or no? Right. So this goes through 3 phases. Watch the 3 phases, and I'll talk over it as we go. Let's go.
After discussing pre-qualification with a potential buyer, it's time to connect them with a lender directly through your Follow Up Boss app. Go to the lead's profile and tap Stage to change the status of the lead. Be sure to change the status to Met With or above to accurately reflect the buyer's engagement level. Scroll down to the lender section and tap Transfer to Zillow Home Loans. Choose your preferred ZHL lender from the list.
All right,
Next.
stop it. All right, so what have you got from the beginning? You're on your home screen. You tap on ZHL, Okay. Everybody in the room, please listen, because this is for everybody. Everybody. You go to ZHL, you tap on Follow Up Boss. You tap on Follow Up Boss, you look at the status of the client. Upgrade the client to met with, because if it's not on met with, that Zillow Home Loan Officer will not call the client. It's that simple. And what will happen is a month later, we will not be able to assign Zillow leads to you. So Follow Up Boss, tap on the icon, tap on the client, tap on the status, change the status. Then you go to transfer to Zillow Home Loans and tap on transfer to Zillow Home Loans. Does anybody have a question online or in the room at this point? Any questions? Please tell me, Cameron, if you see any questions in the feed. All right, let's go back to this.
Add a note about the buyer in the Notes About Contact Name section. Describe where the buyers are at in their home buying journey and any financial details you may know. Then tap Submit. Now, let's introduce your contact to the lender. We'll do this via text for today's tutorial. There will be two options to choose from. Tap on Send a Group Text. The intro text will be pre-populated, introducing your buyer to your ZHL lender. Feel free to customize this message with any specific instructions for either party. Once you're ready, tap Send to complete the introduction.
All right,
You
stop.
successfully...
Stop. So now you've chosen your Zillow Home Loan Officer with whom you've developed relationship already, and you're actually having a conversation with them. Hey, Angelica married to a super guy. His name's Derek. They want to put 20% down. They're not sure about their credit. They think it's pretty good. They're waiting for you to call them. Now, if you're a Zillow Home Loan Officer on the other end, are you interested in that lead? Of course. If you just see that you begrudgingly tap met with and there's no notes, they don't know who they're calling. They've got 40 other calls to make. So make your clients look better than other people's clients so that the loan officer does it. Now, let me ask you a question. Okay, everybody listening to me? Let me ask you a question. Don't you think that's a good way of treating an ICOR lender as well? So if Dominic has stepped away from his children and his wife, and he's sitting there at 6 p.m. on Saturday, and you've got an interested client, don't you think it's respectful to him to say, hey, Dominic, I'm with Patty right now. I'm with Angelica right now, and she's looking to buy a home, and she'd really like your support. They're trying to get their payment below $4,000. Could you please talk to them? Do you think Dominic's going to be motivated to talk to that client? Of course he is, because you're treating him with respect, right? How many of you believe we should return slavery to America? Does anybody? I know you got a lot of weird people in America right now, so I just wanted to check the room, right? Last thing I checked, loan officers aren't slaves. You see where I'm going with that? TCs aren't slaves. We kind of got rid of slavery a few years ago because it's fucked up. Did you all hear what I just said? Yeah, I just cussed. It's the most perverted, weird thing that's ever hit the surface of humanity. Yeah. Finally, you guys are waking up. So please stop treating TCs and loan officers like they're slaves. You cannot have them build their estate so you can look hot on Instagram. They're there to serve with you. Do I hear an amen in the room? Amen. So please treat your fellow human beings. Their blood is the same color as yours. They work just as hard as you do. We are all one on this planet, whether or not we acknowledge it. So please, I know that was an emotional appeal, but it's how I think. And I'm team leader. So here, Zillow is saying, please just be polite and tell the loan officer who they're talking to. And I'm sharing with you the same with ICOR. You reach out to Dom, you reach out to Oscar, you reach out to these guys who are working round the clock for us. Just give them some information, treat them like fellow human beings, right? And then we'll get where we need to be. So now you've sent off this message to Zillow Home Loans. The loan officer goes, wow, that's Doug. He always treats me so politely. Oh, and look, he's got a client who blah, 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 blah. And now he's got the introduction. Now let's go to the next piece.
Transferred a new contact to your ZHL lender within Follow Up Boss. Now, let's set up our tasks to maximize our lead conversion. On the leads profile screen, tap the blue add icon at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Now tap the task icon. Title this task, follow-up call with ZHL chat, and schedule next showing appointment. Change the task type to call by tapping on follow-up, then call. Select the date and time right after your call with the lender by tapping on date, then choose the appropriate date and time. Once all details are set, tap create to finalize your task. To view this task, go to the contact's profile and navigate to the calendar tab. Alternatively, on your home screen, find calendar at the bottom of the screen. Tap on the day of the ZHL call, and there you'll see your task. Manage your ZHL transfer like a true professional with Follow Up Boss. Streamline interactions and follow-ups to ensure seamless transactions.
All right, so let's stop right there. Keep that screen up for a second. So do you remember at the beginning I said, guys, run a business rather than just try and find your next deal? So you run a business from your Follow Up Boss dashboard. In the dashboard, remember at the bottom, you have the activity channel. On the activity channel, it shows you everybody who's active on the website that's assigned to you so that you can communicate with them. Also, at the same time, you scroll across to calendar, you tap on calendar, and you can see under calendar all of the tasks you have for that day. Some of those tasks will be, I need to follow up on a Zillow home loan transfer. I need to follow up on, frankly, guys, I need to follow up on an ICOR lending transfer. Follow up with Dominic. Did he get my client pre-qualified? You guys aren't doing that. And that's why so many leads get spearheaded, because we go in and you haven't set up a task. So all you have to do is go into the client. Imagine you're a nurse. You're a very loving person, Color. So imagine I'm your 68-year-old patient. I've just had some surgery. I'm hurting. I'm lying in the bed, right? You've been assigned to me as a nurse. You come in. You don't say hello. You see that I rang a bell. You don't say hi to me. You don't check my vitals. You just make sure I haven't pooped the bed because you don't want it to smell, and you walk back out. Is that the kind of nurse I need? No. I need you to come up to him and say, hey, look, you just rang the bell. What's ringing the bell? They looked at properties at 2 o'clock in the morning. They just rang the bell. Hey, I noticed you rang the bell. I want you to know I'm your nurse. I'm here for you. You are nursing people out of financial sickness, from being a renter to being an owner. When you see yourself that way, you see yourself as a modern real estate agent. When you do that, Color, what are you going to do? You're going to walk out the room and go, that's done. Time to go home. Time to go to Johnny's ball game. No. You're going to say, you know what? Andrew's hurting. I want to make sure that I don't forget him. I'm going to go back to him on Wednesday. So she's going to go back in here, tap on the plus sign, add on task, and on Wednesday, she's got a reminder to nurse her patient. That's all that we're saying here. Does everybody agree with this mentality, right? Let's love one another, right? Let's love these clients, and we will convert accordingly. Any questions about the ZHL piece? Do either one of you want to say anything additional?
Seamless.
I don't think so.
Right, perfect. Round of applause for all of this. Thank you very much. Blake, come on up, please. So guys, it's 11:11. I want you to hear this very carefully. A wonderful development on how to turn everybody into champions here. Over to Blake.
What's going on, guys? Amazing information so far, guys. Amazing information. I'll keep it brief. I won't take too much of your time. I like to be quick and concise with my message and what I'm trying to do here. Thanks for the slide on this, guys. This is all great, fun facts about me, and I'm proud of them. But it's not here to flash. I don't want to flash what I've done or what I'm going to be doing. You know, I come from very humble beginnings. For those of you that were on that Monday call session, you guys learned a little bit about me. I come from not a lot of money. I come from, you know, earning every dollar that I've made. I've come from, you know, being on EBT and food stamps and having a daughter that I could not figure out for the life of me how to make enough money to get diapers and milk. I turned to the phones, guys. I turned to the phones. I got my real estate license as soon as my daughter was born. Right around the same month she was born, I got my real estate license. And I quit my job. And I was looking at my wife and I was looking at my daughter and just not sure what was going to happen, right? I told my wife to bet on me. I said, I got this. I'll figure it out. right? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month passes by, no traction. 2 months pass by, no traction. 3 months pass by, no traction. My wife's like, you dumbass. You left a job, a good job, and you're telling me you're going to sell houses. You're going to be like selling Sunset. And I'm there for trying to like figure out how I'm going to get diapers and milk, right? My mentor told me if you have issues, just start dialing and don't stop dialing until you win, right? So from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day for about 6 weeks straight. During COVID, who remembers COVID times and how weird that was when it first got released and everybody's wearing masks and nobody can go outside and there was no open houses, you couldn't door knock, right? There was nothing, right? So the only real avenue that I had was cold calling, right? I had a call. That was it. So 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., I had a 1-bedroom apartment, small little space, me, my wife, my daughter, right? We're all sharing a room. And from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., I went to the garage on top of a washer and dryer, and I did calls. In those 6 weeks, I pulled 7 listings, 4 of which were sell buys, and it completely changed my life in 6 weeks. So guys, when I tell you, hey, come do calls, right? Come do these calling sessions. This is great. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm proud of doing this and coaching and being on Tom Ferry and having lead experience and networking. That's amazing. I love that. But my biggest accomplishment is being able to say what I've done in those 6 weeks and pull my family out of that hole, right? So if you guys are not where you want to be, pick up the phone and start dialing. That's what we're all about. That's what, when I say come do it, I just remember that and how amazing that feeling was, right? How many of you guys would like to have 7 listings in the next 6 weeks? All right, cool. Come to the Monday meeting. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about this wealth tracker. It's something that I conjured up over the course of a couple years. It's very granular. It's very simple. It's very easy to digest, okay? It's not a very complicated system. Let me go ahead and put it in I kind of want to just send it to everybody. This is for the San Diego people in the San Diego group, but it's available to everybody, so feel free to use it on your own behalf here. I'm going to send it to you guys right now in what's the best channel I should put this in? Appointment channel? Is everybody in the appointment channel for the most part? Bam fam, here, let me just so you guys can look at it. And I'm not saying for you guys to throw your names in there because your names aren't on there yet. But that way you guys can pull that up really quick and show you what we're doing here. And this is just to make everything granular and keep your accountability and tracking at an all-time high without taking up too much of your time, right? Because all our time should be devoted to prospecting and closing deals, right? As much as we love spreadsheets. Who loves to just spend hours on spreadsheets? Yeah, Cam, maybe Cam, maybe Kathy, right? But I know most of us, for the most part, do not want to be on spreadsheets for hours on end, right? We want to be out there closing deals. So if you pull up this tracker, super simple, and you guys can do something like a mock one for yourself just to keep yourself, in line here. But super simple date. So I kind of think of this as like my daily punch card, right? Kind of like when you clock in, clock out at work. This is kind of how I think of this, right? So you'll put the date. You'll go ahead and fill out your name. You'll put the calls that you made, right? For the San Diego region, we have a target goal of about 50 calls a week, right? Which is not crazy. If you're working Monday through Friday and you're doing 50 calls a week. Oh, you have dude, that's awesome. I didn't know I had a QR code. Cool. There's a QR code for those that, amazing. How many of you guys can do some simple math here? So Monday through Friday, if you need to do 50 calls a week, you're only working Monday through Friday. How many calls a day should you be doing outbound? 10, right? So super simple. How many of us can at least do 10 calls a day? Okay, perfect, right? And the good thing about these leads, I'm not going to harp on them too much. I mean, Andrew's already conjured up an amazing machine that brings in leads that are literally looking at houses right now, today, this second, last minute, 5 minutes, right? So these are not cold call leads. You're not cold calling, circle dialing like me in the garage, right? You're calling people that are, hey, I'm looking at this house right now. So they're not even cold leads. They're very warm leads, right? Anyways, so 10 calls a day. I promise you, they're warm leads. You'll convert at least 2 to 3 of them. Even if you're at a low conversion ratio, you'll get 2 or 3 that are actually saying, hey, I want to go see this property. It's going to be easy, right? So calls made, 10 a day. Contacts made, so it'll track how many people you actually spoke to on the phone, right? So not just outbound calls. follow-ups made. So if you're doing text messages, emails, all that good stuff, we want to track that. The number of the appointments set and the name of the clients, right? BRBC signed. So we want to know who you started working with officially. Listing agreement signed. Offers that you have written and the name of the client. Escrows opened. Social media posts, right? And predicted closings for the month. Obviously, ZHL is a very, very important factor, and we covered that already. But that's what this tracks, right? How many of us track every single one of these items every single day that we come to work at real estate? Okay, perfect. We should, right? To take control of the business, we need to have all these stats, all these facts, right? And it's cool that Google has this. It's a Google form. It's not complicated, right? I used to just do it on a notebook, on a just piece of paper. Every single day, I would write it out. Contacts made, follow-ups made, appointments set, BRBCs, boom, boom, boom. And the trick here, guys, is that I kind of do want it to sting a little bit when you have to put a 0. That's kind of the point, is I want you guys to realize and come full circle, like, hey, my audio is I'm telling everybody, hey, I wanna succeed. I want to be top 1%. I want to close 24 transactions, 36, 50 transactions this month, right? But their video is, I went to the bar. I went to the bar last night, so I couldn't make it in today, so I didn't do my calls. I didn't do any social media. I missed my appointment. I was late, right? And don't think I forgot about my push-ups. I still owe you guys. But this will keep you accountable, right? So you can put those zeros in and have them sting. Like escrow's open, you put a 0 there, you're gonna be like, every single day you're putting a 0 there. At some point, you're gonna be like, I need to do something. What am I doing wrong that I'm not putting any kind of escrows here? How many of us would like to open an escrow every single day of the week? Yeah. There's no reason we can't. We have the infrastructure, guys. It's all here. So this well tracker is meant to keep you guys accountable, make it granular. And how long do you think it'd take you to just go from the top real quick, Cam, and scroll down? So how many questions we got on here? We got the date, name, so that's 2 questions. Contacts made 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What was that? 13 questions? 11 questions? How long would it take you guys to put 0, 1, 2, 3, 10? How long do you think that'll take you to do all that?
5 minutes.
Inside of 5 minutes, right?
Well, let me just interject here for a second.
Absolutely, go
I just
for it.
want the whole team to understand this. How many of you are part of Reveal every Tuesday and Thursday? Can I see a show of hands? What about online? How many of you are part of Reveal? Can we have a quick look here? How many of you are part of Reveal? So there's 50 plus people online. Let's see. All right. Okay. So Reveal, keep going. Just say yes. So Reveal is part of a system that I invented way back in the 90s, and now is a part of this team with its technology. And what we're looking at is we have to provide to our corporate partners data. They're like, okay, great. You've got X number of people on the team. We need data. We're going to send you 600 leads. How many are you going to put in escrow? We're going to send you 600 leads. How many loans are we going to get? We're going to send you 600 leads. How many agents do you have that are producing 2 or more deals a month? So the companies we work for want data. Now, I highly advise you use the same data approach to your own personal business. But business is based on data. The value of your business. How many of you would like to sell your real estate business? Can I see a show of hands? It's based on data. If you have data, you can sell it. If you don't have data, you can't sell it, right? So your business is about data. It's very hard to sell personality. You can sell data. So we collect that data through Reveal. We collect that data through Bob. We're noticing something, that every week you're coming back and you're putting marks on Bob, but volume isn't changing. So we're looking for a way. When I say we, that's Kathy and Annette and myself and now Blake. We're looking for a way to say, how do we engage with you more? Let me tell you something that happens on Reveal. Guys, please stay with me, okay? Don't start packing up yet. We're just 10 minutes and we're done. We're noticing, I notice because I track it, that I go into Reveal 84% of agents on Reveal touch it for less than 10 minutes a week. That means you see Reveal as a schoolmaster. Uh-oh, the nun's coming. I need to get my homework done. The last 5 minutes you do it because you don't want to get wrapped on the knuckles. The data tells me that somehow it is not resonating with you as a tool that you make money. If I said to you, use Bob and you'll double your income, and you believe me, would you look at it every day? But you don't believe me, so you're not doing it. So we're trying to create a construct where the data supports the emotion. When you've done something for 44 years, which is how long I've done Bob, I've got a lot of emotion attached to it. But the data says you don't. So Google surveys like this are used by billions of people worldwide. What we're trying to do is engage with you on a daily basis, because we know you, as good as you are, do not look at Bob for more than the maximum you've ever looked at Bob, by the way, is 14 minutes in a week. I tracked you. Now, this is to my friend. I love him, right? So the point is this. If this is a tool that's genuinely making you money, you're genuinely going to touch it. So the whole intention of this is that we build up what I've always wanted to do is champions. And champions take responsibility for their own training. They take responsibility for their own fitness, right? A champion runner doesn't go and meet Kathy on Tuesday and Thursday and go away and eat ice cream all week, right? The champion is training themselves. So are we training ourselves? So come back to this.
Yep. Look at the top of that too. We actually mentioned champions on there.
So let's go up to champions. Look at the psychological aspect of this. A champion is a winner of someone who is really great at something, a person who's defeated or surpassed all rivals in a competition or business. How many of you have a champion mindset in this room? Can I see?
Let's go.
So this is for the 6 of you. So scroll up, right? Scroll down. So now what we're going to do is, for the San Diego team, we're piloting this. We're going to send this out to 26 people. And each day you're going to get an email. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's going to be an email and a text blast every single day. So it's going to be a little daily punch card. You fill it out, take 5 minutes, and you're tracking your business. You're taking the accountability. Whether that's something that's favorable or not, it'll give us the baseline of where you are in your business and where we can support you to help you grow.
Then on the back end, Cam has built a system with AI where we can add up what you do every day automatically. And it provides us data that shows what did Martin do the last 36 days, right? And then that provides a coaching opportunity. You get somebody like Shui who comes on board who wants to grow. Young ladies who come on board who want to grow. We look back at your data and we see, wow, you're doing great here. You're really dipping there. What is it about that we can help you with, right? So it's to really help you build a construct for success. Does everybody understand the mindset behind this? All right. So I just wanted to contextualize what you're doing. So the San Diego team is going to get this text and email every day. You quickly scroll through it. Tap, 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 2, 1, dot, 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 dot. We now have the data to supply to our partners who are signing contracts with us. And then when they come back to us, they can say, look, based on this data, this person, that person, this person, that person is clearly engaged. We've got a $2 million listing. Please send it to them.
It's a reward system too, guys. I feel like it's fair, and correct me if I'm wrong, everybody in this room and on Zoom, it's fair to reward people that work. Is that fair, or should we reward
100%.
people that don't reward that don't work at all, and we should just give them a $2 million listing, right? So this helps us find who's working and who deserves that blessing.
So round of applause for Blake and all that he's doing. Annette, please wrap us up, Daniel. Thank you, everybody.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so let's go to our closing slides. Thank you. Did you want to talk about that real quick? Oh, Cameron was going to do all the crash courses. Yeah, I think you should talk about it for a couple minutes because we need to introduce it, not wait another 7 days.